So Piatrei sent me their motion sickness watch, so I want to do a quick unboxing and go ahead and go over all the features it has. So this opens up real easy, and the first thing I see over here is going to be the instruction manual. Right on top we're going to have a charging cable. At the bottom we're going to have some additional watch bands, and then finally the watch itself. Alright, so here's a closer look at the watch, and of course it does come with a screen protector that comes right off. And here we can see the shiny screen. On the side we are going to have these two buttons, and on the other side we're going to have the one button that basically just powers it on. So right there it shows some animations, but beforehand let's take a look at the rest of the watch. So as far as thickness goes, this one is going to be kind of thicker compared to regular watches or smart watches really. So right here I have a Fitbit, and here you can kind of go ahead and see the difference in size. Definitely is going to be a lot bigger and wider than it. Now at the bottom we are going to have these two metallic pieces, and worth noting they do go ahead and compress inside as you see here. And right in the center is where the cable goes ahead and attaches to go ahead and charge, just like so, and it goes ahead and fits magnetically as you see here. And there only is one correct way to put it, because if I try to put it the other way, it's not going to go ahead and work. It just goes ahead and separates. Now taking a look at the straps, they are going to be rubberized, and the buckle and this little tip over here are going to be metallic. And if we want to go ahead and take off these bands and replace them with the other ones, all we have to do is just push this metal part to the right, and we can pull it right out just like so. So now it's time to go ahead and test out the motion sickness watch. And I'm taking a look at the instructions, and the first thing to do is to locate the correct acupoint, which is going to be approximately 3 fingers upwards over here. So like right over here at the edge. This is where I'd want the center of the watch to be, so right around there. So I can just press this button over here to go ahead and turn on the screen, and then we see the logo and the screen's on. And after about 5 seconds, the screen's just going to go ahead and shut off, just like that. And I can go ahead and turn it back on. And now if I want to go ahead and actually start the stimulation process, all I have to do is just press these two buttons and hold them. So I'll just go ahead and hold them just like so. And there. So now it's working. And now to go ahead and actually start the process, all I have to do is just press the start button over here, and it's going to initiate the breathing. Now right in the upper right corner is the time, and if I want to go ahead and change that time, all I have to do is just go ahead and press this button upwards. It's going to go ahead and start flashing as you see here, and I can just go ahead and adjust it to the appropriate time. And once it's correct here, I can just press this button, it confirms, and it goes to the minute hand. And I can go ahead and do the same thing, press confirm, and there. Now it's done. Alright, so now if I want to go ahead and enter the stimulation mode, all I have to do is just hold these two buttons on the side here. Alright, so now if I want to enter stimulation mode, I just have to hold these two buttons on the side, and it's going to go ahead and start flashing on and off. And when I press the button, it's going to initiate me to breathe in and out. Alright, so now to turn on the stimulation mode, all I have to do is just hold these two buttons. Alright, so now to turn on the stimulation mode, all I have to do is just hold these two Alright, so now to turn on the stimulation mode, I just have to hold these two buttons. It's going to flash on and off, and then I can press here. It's going to tell me to inhale. And if I want to go ahead and turn it off, I can press this button, and I turn it off. And I will say immediately I did feel like some sort of pulsing on my wrist over here, and that's going to be the electrode stimulating me. And if I do want to go ahead and adjust the intensity, all I have to do is just hold this button and then press it upwards, and as you can see, the red's going to go ahead and start to increase, and that's definitely going to be a little bit too much for me, so I'll start at 1. And now if I want to go ahead and adjust the airbag massage strength, similarly, I just go ahead and hold the bottom button. It blinks on and off, and then I can go ahead and increase it or decrease it, and then press this to confirm. Alright, so now I could start it by holding these two buttons, and then press the start. And if I want to go ahead and adjust the intensity, I can just press any one of these buttons and it's going to go ahead and stop, and then I can just go ahead and increase the intensity, and I want to increase it to about 5. I'll confirm, and then I'll go ahead and do that process again. And yeah, I definitely did feel an increase in intensity, but what I want to test out is to see the max setting. And then I'll just go ahead and start this. All right, and yeah, it's intense, but it's not intense enough to go ahead and just hurt you, just enough to go ahead and, you know, feel what's going on, and the tingliness over here. Honestly, it's pretty calming and tranquil. All right, so after using the Motion Sickness Watch just a few times, I can definitely see how this can go ahead and have an effect. I definitely feel a lot more at peace, tranquil, and that's probably because you know, I'm breathing very slowly. And one thing I do like about it, which I don't know if you heard, but there was a auditory noise on here, so it was like a buzzing that I heard, and that meant I have to inhale, and when it's time to exhale, you go here and hear like a ding, doot, doot noise. So I do like the fact that it's definitely going to be a lot easier to go ahead and use this, you know, whether you're in a plane or a boat, whenever you're motion sick, and you don't have to constantly stare at the watch to know when to breathe in and when to breathe out. But yeah, again, I do like that. As far as the stimulation goes, I did go ahead and feel it. It kind of reminded me of like a little shock in a way, but it wasn't painful at all. It just goes ahead and just, you know, feels a little bit different. Felt pretty good, honestly. And here you can see how my wrist looks like. There's nothing really wrong with it. Now, one thing to note about using this is you do have to make sure you are moist, whether it be, you know, with some water or some lotion before going ahead and use this. Now, since my skin wasn't dry, I was still able to go ahead and feel the electrodes, but if my skin was like very, very dry, I might have not been able to go ahead and feel it. So if you're wondering how long it approximately takes to feel some alleviation from dizziness, from motion sickness, at the back of this booklet, it does go ahead and just answer some common questions. And that question did come up, and the answer for that was going to be, it takes roughly 30 minutes. And the max setting that you can go ahead and do this at the most intense level would be for up to 2 hours. So overall, using this Piatrei Motion Sickness Watch was real easy. And I can definitely see how this can be a huge alleviation if you suffer through motion sickness. But yeah, if you're looking for a device to go ahead and help you with that, definitely check this one out by Piatrei.